What's up, guys? Join me on this journey to see how action progresses plot in this next episode of Walking Dead. So at the beginning of this episode, we come back to Sasha, Abraham, and Daryl, and they're trying to get back to Alexandria. Or they're trying to get a hold of Rick through the radio, and where the hell is Glenn? We will not find out this episode, but we see they run into some marauders or some other survivors that are trying to shoot them down. And as they're trying to get away, Daryl runs into some discrepancies. He falls off his bike. He's kind of skids off. He gets cut. He still keeps going. He keeps gunning through. And they eventually get split up. And throughout this whole episode, we see this dynamic between Sasha and Abraham. We see Daryl run into some of the few three marauders that we see in the Walking Dead Season 6 trailer that we got all the way back in September or August. So, first off, I gotta say there's some conspiracy theories about, the guy that was waving the gun in Daryl's face as he was tied up is Dwight. I don't think so anymore, guys. The way they describe where they were, or the place they stayed at, definitely not. I don't think it's Dwight at all. With that being said, though, it could be a possibility that he's in kind of ties with Dwight, and I'll explain that in a minute, because Daryl's portion of his subplot is he runs into these people and they take his stuff and they're taking him to this oil company, this just abandoned oil company that they're trying to find a specific person. And Daryl ends up running away with the supplies. He ends up getting his crossbow back. He runs back. He has his crossbow, but he feels a sense of sympathy because in the bag is medicine that is there to heal this girl that she's injured. So he eventually goes back, and he kind of earns their trust, or vice versa, and it ends up being a big mistake. You can't negotiate with people in this world anymore, because by the end of this episode, he takes them back to his bike, and after asking them the 3 questions that Rick always asks to recruit new people into the community, he goes back on his bikes. The guy points the gun at his face, and he fires a warning shot that looks like he shot Daryl. And because the guy's asking for the crossbow and he won't give it up, and he fires a warning shot. And the way it's just shot, the scene was shot, it looks like he shot Daryl, but it was a warning shot in the air. So they take his bike, and I love this dialogue line by Daryl, and the chick that's with him says, "I'm sorry," and Daryl says, "You will be." So I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So they take his bike and his crossbow. And back to Sasha and Abraham. This was really cool dynamic with him. They break into this house, or this store per se, or it's more of a house, because Abraham gets in touch with his inner self. He kind of is getting back to embodying his military ways before the zombie apocalyptic world, and he finds this jacket, or the military suits that they have with all the badges on it, and he puts it on, and it's kind of funny because Sasha just looks at him like, what are you doing? He's just lost, he's just has a personality disorder or something. It's so funny. But yeah, by the end of this episode, we see Daryl finds a truck from the oil company, and he drives it and picks Abraham and Sasha up, and they drive off, and we hear somebody on the walkie-talkie. I'm not sure if the walkie-talkie or radio, but Daryl's like, come in, and it's this guy that says, help. Everybody's blowing up already. Glenn, it's Glenn. Listen, it's not Glenn. E.T. Entertainment had an interview with Daryl, or Norman Reedus per se. He said that's not Glenn. That's a familiar voice, though. Now, I could tell it's not Glenn, mainly because I've reviewed the certain scene several times. I've analyzed it. That's definitely not Glenn's voice. Glenn would have not said help that calmly. What I think is it's got to be Rick. Definitely Rick, because if you think about it, who's had in touch with the walkie-talkies? You have Sasha, Abraham. It couldn't be them. They're in the car. Daryl, he's in the car. He's driving. Glenn, no. That's been put to the side. Not Glenn. Then it's got to be Rick. So I'm pretty sure it's Rick. But in the next episode, we're back at Alexandria, and we'll see what goes on from there. But I really like it. A really condensed, intimate, not condensed, but an intimate episode between these three characters. And we'll find out Glenn's fate soon enough, so there's still hope out. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next week.